It's my first time, absolutely, and I feel myself very well, you know, because the place is good, the festival is nice, and the audience is nice. So I'm really happy to be here. I have been invited 5 times. I couldn't come, and this year, you know, just like I came, and I am a little bit sad that the cyclone, you know, made a lot of tragedy. You lost around 80 people, fishermen here, and I am a little bit like sad because of that, you know. But of course, we should continue just to keep on making films and tell stories. So I'm really happy to be here, yeah. Well, I moved from Chad to France because of the civil war, you know. It happened when I was 19, and I have been injured, you know, and there was no solution for me, you know. So we moved to Cameroon, next to Chad, and then from Cameroon I tried just to go to France, because when we escaped from Chad, I didn't have anything in my pocket. I found just an address of a film school in Paris, and so I decided to go there. That was my address, and I was in Paris just to study cinema. And then, you know, you start like falling in love and all the things, and then you stay. It's just, that's life. Well, part of the film is biographic, but not the whole film. It's, there is a kind of reality in it, because it talks about cinema, and at this time in Chad, all the cinema theater has been destroyed by civil war. And the film you see in the cinema you see in the film has been really destroyed, and it was the cinema of my childhood, you know. So I was really sad, and I was asking to myself, is it possible to make cinema in a country where you don't have anything? It's just like being a writer without having a library, you know. So that was the question, but it's not. All is not biographic, because my mother is still alive, and I hope so. I will come back and see her. But in the film she died, but it's not the truth, you know. So cinema is also, you know, mixing reality and fiction and trying to reflect about life and things, yeah. Well, it was I mean, curious thing, you know. I didn't want it to act because I feel myself like a bad actor, but I was looking for someone very close to me in a way, and I couldn't, you know. And at least my producer said, you know, it's your own story, so you should just act in this film. And so he opened me in a way, you know. I was a kind of oh, I couldn't make it, and etc. And when he said that, it was just like he liberates me in a way, and so I accepted to play in the film, yeah. Yes, we got normal release, not in Chad, but in several countries, you know, like in Europe. But it was, you know, I made it really, this first film, I made it just with my heart. We didn't have a lot of money. We made it at this time on video, because it there was no, I mean, we had digital at this time, but there was no, not like today, you know, where you don't have 35mm. And we started making a short film. So we shoot 1 week, and normally we had 2 weeks. In 2 weeks, I said, I'm going to make a feature. And so we did it in 15 days, but it's just like, you know, running and etc. And well, it was my first, you know, feature, and I was very full of energy, you know, young and etc. And I wanted to destroy everything, you know. And yeah, this is the energy of beginners. Yeah, I did it with my heart, you know. And I think that that's the most important thing in cinema. Just do it with your heart. That's the most important thing, you know. Absolutely, because of I'm really related with Kerala, because I won the Fipreschi prize for this film, and then I got the main prize for Abuna, our father, and so I had to come here because it's a place where I started, you know, be recognized in the professional world of cinema. My second movie, Abuna, Our Father, is a story about a lot of people in Chad, you know, men, they move from their own country, they don't say anything to anyone because they are looking for jobs and etc. And then they vanish, you know. You don't have any news, and in the Muslim culture, you cannot, when you leave your family, when you leave your wife for more than 3 months, the marriage is done. I mean, it's finished, you know. And we had a lot of communicate on the radio of families saying, well, Mahamat Saleh Haroun has vanished for 1 year. We don't have any news from him, and if he doesn't give us news in 2 days or 1 week, we are going to dissolve the marriage. That was the fact, you know. A lot of communique on the radios, and I started thinking about this question. So it's a question of kids without a father, and just, you know, trying to grow up without a father and just the mother at home. Yeah, that was yes, yeah. So that's a question, maybe, you know, as I told to a lot of people, I am in a way related to Kerala and India because of Indian movies. You know, I started watching movies. My first one was an Indian movie, and I started like dreaming about cinema because I saw for the first time an Indian movie. So in a way, I am maybe I have an heritage, you know, of Indian movie, and that make a kind of connection, mysterious connection, you know. And maybe you feel it in my films. There is something, maybe an influence, you know, from your country, and maybe that's the reason, but I can't explain it more. Yeah.